In this video, we're going to take a look at two things: how to find the mean from a frequency distribution, and also how to find a weighted mean. So here is the notation. X bar, remember, is our our mean. And then this is our summation symbol, so we want to add up the frequency times the data value. So first we're going to multiply the frequency times the data value, and then the denominator is the sum of all the frequencies. So we're going to add up the frequencies and divide by that. So let's take a look at an example. Here we have a frequency distribution for IQ scores. And so the very first thing that we need to do is find our class midpoint. So the class midpoint is what we're going to be using for our value x when we're looking at a frequency distribution. And to calculate the class midpoint, you're just going to find the average of the lower class limit and the upper class limit. So that would be 50 plus 69 divided by 2. That gives us 59.5. And the frequency there was 2. So then multiply that by 2. And we get 119. Do the same thing for all of our classes. So the next one would be 70 plus 89 over 2. That gives us 79.5, and our frequency there is 33. So we're going to take 33 times 79.5. And we get 2,623.5. Next, we want 90 plus 109 divided by 2. That gives us 99.5. And that frequency is 35, so we're going to take 35 times 99.5. That gives us 3,482.5. And then we want to do 110 plus 129 over 2. That gives me 119.5. And the frequency there is 7, so take 7 times 119.5. That gives us 836.5. And then 130 plus 149 divided by 2. That gives me 139.5. And that's just going to stay the same because the frequency there is 1. So the numerator, remember, of x bar is the sum of our frequencies times x divided by, and the denominator is the sum of all the frequencies. So we need to add all of these up in this last column here. So 119 plus 2,623.5 plus 3,482.5 plus 836.5 plus 139.5. Oops, that's a bad summation symbol. There we go. So that gave me 7,201. And then we want to find the sum of all of our frequencies. So add up this column. And so 2 and 33 is 35. 35 and 35 is 70. And then 8 more is 78. And so we get 92.3205, and it keeps on going on your calculator. And remember, the rounding rule for means is to go 1 decimal point beyond your data. Our data for the IQ data only had or didn't have any decimal places in it, and so we would want to round this to 92.3. So here's the definition for a weighted mean. Again, it's very similar to what we looked at before. Our mean x bar is going to be the sum of the weights times the data value divided by the sum of all of your weights. So here we're going to calculate a student's GPA. The grading system assigns quality points to letter grades as follows. An A would be 4 points, a B would be 3 points, a C would be 2 points, a D would be 1 point, and an F is 0 points. If a student has the following courses and grades, compute the GPA. So they're taking our course, statistics. They have a biology course, they have a psychology course, and then they had 2 credits of Phy-Ed. So first we need to multiply the number of credits by the letter grade that they got. So 3 times an A is equal to 4 points. So that gives us 12. And then we have a 4 credit class that they got a B in, and a B is worth 3 points. And then they had a 4 credit class that they received a C in, and a C is 2 points. And then they have a 2 credit class that they received an A in, and an A is worth 4 points. So we have 3 times 4 gives us 12, 4 times 3 is also 12, 4 times 2 is 8, and 2 times 4 is also 8. So we need to add those up. And so 8 and 12 is 20, so this adds up to 40. And then we need to divide by the total number of credits, because the number of credits is our weight in this case, because we want an average of what the letter grades are in their equivalent numeric form. So we're going to take this 40 and divide by the number of credits. So this is basically what's your average numeric grade per credit. And so that's going to be 40 divided by the total number of credits that we had is going to be the sum of these numbers. And so we have 8, 10, 13 credits there. And so we want 40 divided by 13. And so this student's GPA is 3.07. And now we say that we want to round to just 1 decimal place, but normally GPAs are given as 2 decimal places, so we're going to leave it with 2 decimal places because that's how GPAs are normally calculated. All right, so that's it for this lecture video. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.